we have just gotten the second round-based launch map for Black Ops 6 Zombies teased inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. So previously the game has already given away one of the map names, that being Terminus Island, because apparently Jack Fletcher previously enlisted there for Richthofen as a mercenary. Now what Terminus Island is an island somewhere in the Pacific. This is where Dr. Peck is heading in 1990 at the end of the Forsaken's post-credit scene. This is likely the place where the Requiem heads who were apprehended by Richthofen were taken to not only be imprisoned but also experimented on. It's likely this is where the DNA was extracted too, which I talked about more explaining the latest cutscene in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. So I can't wait for this map, it's going to be awesome. I've already made videos going more in depth on this island map. It could also be in Brunei because that's seemingly where Terminus Island is. I know the maps don't exactly align in the real world and where Peck is pointing, but it's a video game after all, this could just be a mistake. And at the same time, this could also be the location where the Ethereum missiles were diverted into the Pacific by Ravenov and Samantha in the first Outbreak quest. And this could be how zombies get to the map, and this could be a high Ethereum concentration zone, which is why Eddie specifically had Terminus Island set up. Actually, if we look at Fletcher's bio, the CIA operation was carried out from 1991 to 1993, and that's when he was on the island. So this is seemingly after 1990. So Ava could have been born there, and maybe that's why it ended in 1993. Maybe that was the end goal. However, this would mean that when Peck arrives, he fails to actually rescue them, and maybe he's captured as well. But that wouldn't be a good story setup for the game. Alternatively, maybe he does successfully free them, and then Richthofen hires further guards onto the island to not allow any further escapants or anyone further to infiltrate the island. Or maybe Richthofen requires something else on this island to be carried out, even if Requiem are no longer there. There's so many possibilities here, it's hard to make out, of course, unless the Forsaken teaser where it says 5 years later is inaccurate and a longer period of time has passed. Nevertheless though, this is the map we know the most about, but there's a second launch map apparently for Black Ops 6 Zombies that we know is going to be in a town in West Virginia. However, now we finally have the name for this town, as we have a new radio from Miller within Modern Warfare 3 Zombies teasing it.
Loading! Excuse me, Ravenov. Feel free to send me a pack in, but I've noticed you're not rattled by anything going on here. Also, people have been saying Green didn't have a choice in bringing you on board.
My expertise came at a high price. Being here, it is my duty. We all have our instructions.
I got history with this kind of thing, too. The place I grew up, it was a town by the name of Liberty.
My God. You were there. But you would have been so young. How did you possibly...
Hold up. You know about what happened? Every pencil neck I've ever spoken to said those files were sealed.
People, they tell me things. I know it was a tragedy.
Well, shit. I've kept my mouth shut, worked my ass off in the service, and convinced the powers that be to assign me to Deadbolt, just to find out that you're the one with the answers?
Perhaps I can help. When you have time, record what you remember. And I can do my best to connect the dots for you. Separate fact from fiction.
You do that?
I promise.
Deal. Now, that means you can't go dying on me.
I am good at keeping promises.
So Miller seemingly grew up in this town. Now we had intel after Cold War Zombies where Richthofen had this town in West Virginia shut down from the public. He had a big wall built around it, he started building tunnels underground and bringing in a lot of resources to the place, large quantities of Ethereum. He also started hiring custodians, scientists and military personnel. Some of the town's inhabitants apparently were refusing to leave, stating their rights as American citizens, and maybe Miller's family was some of those people that refused to leave, because they tried giving a cover story which was the excuse to move the people out of the town, saying that a nuclear power plant's tower had failed and was leaking, but of course that was just fake. Richtofen is using this town for a secret purpose, for Project Janus. So this town is seemingly called Liberty, but it sounds like there's another word after Liberty. It could be Liberty Town, Liberty Janus, there's a whole myriad of different names it could be, but Liberty is seemingly the first word of this town. Let me know in the comments what you think the other word is going to be. I wonder if it's probably going to be revealed in a future radio, so be sure to let me know if you hear anything. Now, when Miller's talking to Ravenov, of course everything surrounding this town was highly classified. No one knew about it within the CIA, almost no one. Richtofen and his closest allies probably were the only ones to know, people involved directly with Janus, because he keeps it so secretive. But Ravenov of course knew about it because something happens in Black Ops 6 Zombies, and they allude in this radio that something absolutely horrible happened at Liberty. Now, I don't know what exactly. It is likely that for Janus, Richtofen requires a large gateway to be opened up, and if you've seen my videos breaking down the latest Modern Warfare Zombies cutscene where we learn that Ava Jansen's mother is Samantha Maxis, her father, Ravenov, as their DNA was seemingly taken from them and inseminated and extracted and then put into Dr. Gray by Richtofen, that this was not a natural birth. And it seems likely that maybe Richtofen had Ava created to create a living bond with the Dark Ether that weakens the veil between the Dark Ether and the real world, allowing him to open a huge gateway. So I'm wondering if, because this is a large town, that this is the location where Eddie has this large gateway, because we know that Janus's shareholders funding the project wanted Richtofen to use the gateway on Mauer de Toten, but Richtofen said the time wasn't right because of course Samantha Maxis and the Forsaken hadn't been dealt with at that point, and the results would have been catastrophic if they struck too early. But what is the horrific thing that happens at this town? We know there's a zombie outbreak that's going to obviously happen here. There was a prior radio in Modern Warfare Zombies where it was kind of hinted by Miller that she grew up in this West Virginia town. I'll play it now.
Welcome to the exclusion zone. We call it the EZ, but there's nothing easy about it. Lucky for you, this ain't my first rotten rodeo. I know what you're up against, and I got what you need. Sergeant Crystal Miller, USMC. I'm company quartermaster for Operation Deadbolt. Need guns? Need gear? Need a clue? You come see Crystal.
Now, she refrained from actually staying as such because she's trying to keep it a secret because, like I said, she might be killed if she lets people know about what happened at this town because Richtofen's keeping it so secretive. Ravenov knows and her, and that's about it. And it seems like she encountered a mimic whilst at this town, so she knows about the horrors of them. So this is very interesting because it seems like all of the characters involved in Modern Warfare Zombies were also involved in Black Ops 6 Zombies in the 90s/early 2000s, because Miller was seemingly a character there on this West Virginia map. Fletcher was on Terminus Island, so it seems like we're going to be seeing younger versions of these characters maybe in that game. And of course, we'll see Ava potentially as a child in that game too, because she was born in 1993. Now, in the radio, Ravenov tells Miller to record a radio seemingly of everything that she encountered at this town, and then he'll try and explain what's true and what's not in the future. So I'm guessing that's going to be a future radio we'll hear where we'll learn more about the map, and we'll get probably a confirmation of the full town's name of Liberty. Apparently, from people data mining the files, this West Virginia map is actually going to be called Liberty Falls, which is a really cool name because Liberty means freedom, so essentially this means Freedom Falls, which is a very ominous title. And a catastrophic event happens here, some sort of huge massacre, maybe due to the zombies, maybe all of the inhabitants are killed who refuse to leave. The radio is apparently called A Tragic Tale of Liberty Falls Part 1, so there's going to be a Part 2 in the future where we will learn more. And I also want to stress that this map is likely a TranZit remake. There are so many reasons to suggest this. The biggest one is that the jet gun has been found in the files for this map, which apparently features a vermin jump scare, potentially a denizen jump scare, as an Easter egg quest to actually unlock it. And the map apparently features an underground testing site, of course the power plant that they pretended leaked. There's a church, it has mining tunnels and all these things that were present there. Now, I don't know why it would be a TranZit remake. Maybe there's not even an explanation for this. It could have ripped out of the Dark Ether or Eddie just had TranZit for some reason recreated. I don't know. Again, maybe there's not a reason for it storyline wise, but let me know in the comments what you think happened here, because something horrible happened. There is a real life town in West Virginia called Liberty. However, I doubt it is one in the same city, but it may be based off of a real life location in West Virginia, but seems to also be merged with some sort of TranZit elements. Now, also in the radio between Miller and Ravenov, it seems to imply that Ravenov's going to die in the future. And of course, we had the prior cutscene where Ava hallucinated killing Ravenov, so this is twice now it's been hinted that he's going to die. Now, seemingly, he has not aged properly. He has some kind of, not necessarily immortality, but extended life. And I think this is because the Requiem had sacrificed themselves to give their essence up to Ravenov, and potentially the other vial, because there's two missing, was given to Richtofen. So he might be killed. Maybe if the entity and Ava reform, she's going to kill Ravenov in the future. But that is all I want to talk about. Let me know, are you excited for this map? I personally am. It's so awesome. We might be getting two maps, not just Terminus Island, but also this West Virginia Liberty map. And I'll be sure to let you know if new radios are added. I also want to say that there's rumors that we might be getting potentially even weeks early access for Black Ops 6 Zombies if you pre-order the game. Maybe Terminus Island will be available if you pre-order, and then you'll get the West Virginia map on launch. Hopefully the Easter eggs are locked though, definitely until launch. But that's all I wanted to say in this video. I'll leave a link to prior videos in the description talking more about Terminus Island, and I'll also leave a link to videos explaining the latest Modern Warfare Zombies cutscene and as to what is going on with this Richtofen experiment seemingly creating Ava Jansen. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.